We love getting requests on the channel. My name is Russ and this is Lauren, and we are doing all things Infectious Groove music and discussing all the different artists and lists that you guys come up with that you want us to make. And me being from Detroit, Alice Cooper being from Detroit, you would think I would have made this video a long time ago, or that I would be the one to handle it. But not only did I not make the video on my own, we got a request from a viewer for it, but I immediately passed it off to Lauren. It's not that I'm not an Alice Cooper fan. I just know the bare minimum from Alice Cooper. So this video might be for me. Now, I happen to be familiar with the songs that you picked for this. But honestly, this is about the way I would go if someone said, "Hey, I'm looking to get into Alice Cooper. Who should I listen to?
Oh, cool.
Or what should I listen to?" So without further ado, Lauren's going to share the first 5 songs she thinks you should listen to from Alice Cooper.
Yeah, I'm going to start by saying that I actually had a harder time with this than I had anticipated when you asked me to do this. I was like, "Oh, sure, no problem." Then I was like, "Oh no, but if I want to include that, then I got to cut this. Oh no, oh no,
Right,
oh no."
yeah.
So, this was not.
There's only one on here that I would have swapped out for something else, and I know what song I would have swapped it out for, but we'll get there.
Okay, let us know at the end.
Yep.
All right. So I want to start with No More Mr. Nice Guy. And I want to start with this because it's pretty much kind of the thesis statement for what Alice Cooper is all about,
Yeah. It's Alice Cooper's mission statement.
It pretty much is, because I mean lyrically it's the result of everybody being like, "Oh no, what's with this fellow? What's going on?" He's like, "Well, all right, no more Mr. Nice Guy. If you thought I was nasty before, just wait."
Right, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The next one, I will, in advance, I'll say this is the one I would have swapped for something else, but
Okay.
we'll get into that. But I think this is a great point in Alice's career. We've discussed on the channel before that a lot of the what people who at the time were considered older, in the late 80s and early 90s, nobody really knew what to do with them.
Right.
And Alice found a way to push himself forward.
Yeah, Feed My Frankenstein. So yeah, from Hey Stupid in 1991, and I just think this song is fun. I was kind of at the right age. I mean, I was a kid, but I remember this kind of being out there in the atmosphere. And so this is probably the first Alice Cooper song that I actively remember hearing. So I had to put it on the list for that reason.
In the concert scene in Wayne's World, and of course the killer cameo that Alice Cooper has in that is brilliant cameo that's in that movie. I think there's a lot of people that saw Wayne's World that was like, "Oh, who was that?" You know what I mean? So, and for everything I said good about that, the only thing I would have switched this out with the song "Under My Wheels."
Okay.
Because I like the grittier '70s rock stuff that that Alice did, but again, that's why these lists are so fun, because it's like, that's what I would have put there. But it's fun. I would have, and as soon as you mentioned Feed My Frankenstein, I would have been like, oh, maybe I should have included that. You know what I mean?
That's fun.
So the next one I think is probably the biggest, the easiest pick of all of them, but it's got to be there.
It's got to be there. Yeah, School's Out from 1972, and as a teacher, I kind of appreciate this song for various reasons. You just kind of like having a break, and I really like you don't have to reach too far to understand this song.
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing that I think I love about it. It's just like, oh, no, there it is.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it's very simple, very straightforward. And again, this is something, like, no matter what age you are in the past 40 years, you grew up with this song.
Yep.
Yeah. The next one that you have on your list is one that is from an era where pretty much everybody in rock was using outside songwriters, and they're all... a lot of the songs are very similar, but each person was able to put their own spin on it. Like, for example, this song, one of the songwriters of this song is a guy who had a big hand in writing a lot of the Aerosmith and Bon Jovi stuff at the time, right?
Right.
But, like, those bands couldn't have done this song the way Alice Cooper did, right?
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
We're talking about Poison from 1989. It's so catchy, and I mean, that just makes sense. Like, if you want to just, like, an Alice Cooper song that you can kind of just, like, enjoy... it's bright, which you don't get to say a lot about Alice Cooper songs. There's a lot of bright moments in this, so I just think it's fun, and I had to put it on the list.
Yeah, it's a great song. Poison, and that whole record, Trash, again, it's from the same songwriting circle that brought you, like, Bon Jovi's New Jersey and Aerosmith Pump and whatnot. There's some great songs on there. The last one that you have on there is a Throw Yourself Under the Bus moment for me. This is one that Guns N' Roses used to do the first verse of this song as an intro to Knocking on Heaven's Door on the Use Your Illusion tour. And for at least 4 years, I thought that they wrote that song. And then I was like, at a party or something, and mentioned this song that GNR wrote, and everybody at the party was like, you don't What are you doing? Yeah. And so the last one that you picked is
Only Women Bleed. And yeah, it's this is pretty. This song is pretty. And unlike some of the others on this list, like it's got lyrics that you kind of have to sink your teeth into to, you know, get meaning from, which I think is very cool. And as I was putting this together, I was kind of looking at reviews at the time of the Welcome to My Nightmare album, and there was a reviewer that was like, Mr. Cooper's new, gentler approach, and this is kind of the song that it's talking about, but it's like, we'll serve him well in the future. And I'm like, but he's not going to keep doing that.
Yeah. One other side note I will say, many years after I found out that this was not a Guns N' Roses song, I was working at a place in Detroit with a guy who kept saying that his friend Dick was stopping by at some point in the day, and very casually, just, oh, my friend Dick's coming by at some point in the day. And at some point in the day, in walks Dick Wagner, the guy who wrote this song.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, oh, my friend Dick's here. And I'm like, that's everybody's friend Dick. Like, that's the dude, you know. And I wanted badly to be like, I thought Guns N' Roses wrote your song.
That's wild.
But yeah, I got to meet Dick Wagner, who was a friend of mine's friend, and he was just very casually mentioned it. So I thought that was fun that's last on your list as well. So those are the first 5 songs Lauren would tell you to listen to, with kind of a bonus for me, like a switch out one for me there. Thank you to the viewer who said, hey, you need to do these songs from Alice Cooper. Let us know in the comments what you think of our list together here. Leave us suggestions, drop a like on the video. And as we always say, thank you so much for watching.